The essay Gender and Sexual Identity is written by an unknown author who's a college student and is an insightful text that explores the origins of our gender and sexual identities. The essay gives an in-depth analysis that highlights the fact that our ideas of gender and gender roles are ingrained at a young age by our parents and society. Most often, boys are told they are strong and made to play with toy soldiers and cars, while girls are told they are pretty and encouraged to play with princess dolls and kitchen sets. Later on in life, sexual identities are forged through information passed on by peers and social pressures that are seen in media and other sources. This piece is relevant to the theme of identity as it examines the sociological origins of gender and sexual identities, exposing the harmful gender stereotypes that are constructed socially and that changes could be made to these societal constructs to make them more socially beneficial. The author suggests that rather than being born with an innate gender identity, that these gender roles have been subconsciously pushed onto children at a young age by parents. The author states, parents direct children's attention to objects that are gender specific, such as dolls for girls and cars for boys. And activity exposure is another way parents expose their children to gender roles. Boys are discouraged from imitating their mothers, while girls are encouraged to be their mother's helpers from gender and sexual identity. Children are manipulated and socialized into gender roles from early childhood. The author also thinks that similar to gender identity, sexual identity is formed by the people around them. Sexual activity is encouraged by gender identity and is developed by peer pressure, especially with regards to boys. The author explains peers influence sexual identity by passing information about sex to each other. Peer influence places sexual pressure on boys to be sexually active, even if they are uninterested or unprepared from gender and sexual identity. Essentially, the author effectively shows how the origins of gender and sexual identity in adults come from the influences of our formative childhood and adolescent years, and that the aspects of this socialization could be harmful. The author further develops the idea that gender stereotypes need to be changed so that both genders create balanced identities that are more equal. The author states, it would be nice to see males make sacrifices for their partners' careers or their children's needs, even if it may inconvenience them from what they may want. The on-taking of this role may help make roles more androgynous, gender and sexual identity. This means that they believe the male gender role should be changed to be more nurturing of their partner's needs and to become true partners by rearing children. By sharing more of the duties and the nurturing, the male identity can expand and then encompass a stronger role in an area more historically defined by females. The author reinforces this belief by confining masculine and feminine gender roles, creating adverse identities that are damaging. Quote, scholars have challenged masculine and feminine gender roles and have found that they are unhealthy and fail to reflect the real world from gender and sexual identity. The author effectively shows that the identities we form through social gender roles need to be less gender assigned starting from childhood in order for both genders to benefit. The origins of gender roles and sexual identities are imprinted on children early in childhood, creating identities that may have negative effects. This essay is relevant to the theme of identity as it demonstrates how a healthy aspect of identity, in the form of allowing characteristics of all genders to be assumed by people, would benefit us more as a society.